heard that there might potentially be a few more cases?
At this stage, Griff is going to join the three with Freddie and Meekie as well. So, we've got 6 out. We're pretty confident that might see it be all we've got out. So, that's where it sits.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive number. How much of a challenge is that to overcome?
Well, it's a challenge, but it's an exciting one, and it creates opportunities for other players. So, I've been stressing all along that our depth is good, and there's players at Peel that deserve opportunities, and that doesn't change. There's some opportunities that will present some players this week, and I'm fully confident they're ready to take them.
How's Darcy after the concussion? Does he come straight back in?
Yeah, he's fine. He's ready to go. Got through training well last night, and he's in really good spirits and back to 100%. So, he's all good.
And in terms of the forward line mix, I guess the spearheads, that's one area where you're going to be left quite a bit short. Are we going to see Jai this Friday night?
We are. Yeah, that's exciting news for the club. Jai's going to make his debut. Yeah, his last 3 games at Peel have been really solid. I've been really impressed with the way he has approached learning the game plan, learning the roles in the forward line. He possesses some elite forward craft, and he's been hitting the scoreboard, which is a byproduct of the work he's doing. So he's in good form and deserves his opportunity.
There's been so much excitement from fans about what Jai could become in the future. Just as a coach and you seeing him up close, what can you tell us in that aspect? What sort of player does he remind you of?
He reminds me of Jai. Like I said, he's got some elite forward craft. We're not going to see the finished product by any stretch. He's got a lot of work to do in the gym and fitness, and he's going to add layers and layers to his game. But possesses some really good forward craft. He's a good mark, and he's got high footy IQ. And he can hit the scoreboard in different ways. So he's an exciting prospect. But like I said, he's not the finished product yet. But we're excited to see what he can deliver.
How close is he to full fitness? You talked last week that he's building himself back. How close is he to that 100% fitness?
Well, he's close, and he's been playing full game time at Peel, and he's been unrestricted in terms of game time at Peel for at least the last month. So that aspect is fine, and he's ready to play and contribute at AFL footy. There's no worries there, and probably what I was talking about last week is predicting 2 or 3 years down the track and what sort of body he's going to build and fitness base he's going to build after he gets a couple of pre-seasons under his belt. So in the short term he's as good as he's going to get. He's ready to take his opportunity, and he's been competing really hard at waffle level, and his GPS shows he's ready to step up to AFL level. So we're excited.
Yep, thanks for that. I'll pass it on to someone else.
G'day, Justin. Braden of the West. Did you say you were fairly confident your COVID group would be limited to those 6?
As confident as I can be.
What gives you that confidence? And was it the bus in Geelong where you think it spread among the players?
I don't know. I don't know. I would be guessing. But after a good win, you tend to, get a bit more touchy-feely and closer and sing the song together. And then we sat on a bus for an hour, sat on a plane for 4 hours, and then sat on another bus back to the club for 40 minutes. So, it's a good opportunity. It could happen in that time.
Sure. And obviously you guys have been sticklers with your, the measures you've taken for a long time now. Do you do things like that on the bus with masks or keeping windows open or those types of things?
Absolutely. And our players have been, diligent with that. And this is probably just a byproduct of, being in close proximity for such a long period of time that it becomes inevitable. But we think we've kept it to a manageable number, and it doesn't affect any chances of us performing this weekend.
So just given what you described, I imagine in home games, obviously players go home in their own cars. Are away games actually sort of more of a risky time?
Definitely. Yeah, they are riskier time, and that's something we're going to have to look at down the track.
Sure. And just in general, obviously this is your biggest, COVID challenge so far in terms of player availability. How do you feel like you're placed in terms of the strength and depth of your list to cover for the outs?
Are in a really good place. It's not even a question. It's something internally we've spoken about, relying on the whole list. Still going to be players that miss out on a game this week that deserve a game. So we got Hayden Young, Heath Chapman, Sean Darcy, Bailey Banfield coming back into the team. So yeah, we're going to field a team that'll allow us to play our best footy. So we haven't really spoken about it internally, apart from we need to prepare really well and need to respect the opposition like we do every week and play our brand of footy for 4 quarters.
And what options do you have in terms of a chop-out second ruckman?
We're confident that Josh Tracy has done enough ruck work at Peel, and he can step up. We're going to have to manage a few things around centre bounce, but he's done that role in preparation for this opportunity.
And is Sam Sturt in the picture at all?
He was in the picture, but I'm not going to sit and tell the 6 in, 6 outs. He's putting a good performances together at Waffle Footy. And whether it's enough to make the cut, you'll have to wait for tomorrow night.
No worries. I'll hand over to someone else.
Thanks, mate.
Justin, Bonnie here from Channel 9. Just wondering if you've got an update for us on Matt Johnson and how he's going in his recovery from his foot injury.
Progressing really well. Yeah, and if it wasn't for the waffle bye, which I think happens in a couple of weeks, he'd probably be playing. And he's had a little bit of he was in isolation last week because he's a housemate of Chappie and Youngies. So if it wasn't for those couple of things, he'd probably be playing in the next couple of weeks. But we expect him to ramp up his training and play in the next 3 weeks. So he's at a stage now in his rehab where he's going to start lifting his kicking loads and train and increase into full training. So it's really positive, and we're excited to see him play at Peel soon.
And just on Jai's debut, can you talk us through the moment that you told him or you let the group know, and he's from a massive family, so how many do you expect to make that trip up the Bustle Highway?
Oh, yeah, I haven't really thought of that. I expect to have a fair crew there, like Neil did a couple of weeks ago. When we announced it, I don't know, he was in a bit of a shock, I suppose. You never really expect it until your name gets called out. But like I said, he's done the work, and we're really confident he can perform his role. And opportunities come in all different shapes and sizes and at different times, and his has come this week. So we're really confident. Really confident in his ability, and we think he can perform a role for us.
And just lastly from me, what's your advice to him about taking that step up to the top level, and what do you see as the biggest strength he can bring to his role?
My communications with him is just making sure that he buys into both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. I think that's been the biggest improvement in the last couple of weeks. Is had some good tackles and chases and played our defensive system well. So and really he's about playing to his strengths. He's got some unbelievable strengths as a forward with his forward craft. So just make sure he backs himself in and leaves it all out there. Don't play safe. Play to your strengths.
Awesome. Thank you.
G'day, Justin. Ben from afl.com.au. Just a quick one from me. There's been a bit of talk about Freo's lack of Friday night games, and I know you won't say one game's bigger than another, but how excited is the club and the players about that opportunity this Friday?
It's a great opportunity for the club, and it's a great opportunity for our members and fans. As a playing group, we're pretty matter of fact, really, about when we play. Don't get caught up in the hype and the external opinion around when you play. We get scheduled to play, and as a coaching group and playing group, we accept that and plan our week very similarly, and nothing really changes. So from an internal point of view in the footy department, nothing changes, but it's on the other hand, it's great for our club and brand and our fans. So that's where it sits.
JL, Lockie from GWN7. It sounds like Fyfe is on track. Belly said earlier in the week that he had a good week on the training track. There's already a lot of talk about what his role might be when he returns, given that the midfield's flying at the moment. Is that something that you're already thinking about, or is it just something that you tackle when it approaches you?
Oh, I've had initial discussions with Fyfe about that, and he's stressed that he's willing to do whatever the team needs and play wherever the team needs. But we also said to him that a lot of water can go under the bridge between now and when he returns. So, we'll have those discussions closer to the time. Reiterate the fact that he's tracking really well, and excited about his next progression.
And just one more from me. I noticed in the broadcast of the Geelong game that when they cut to the coach's box, you had young Carl Warner sitting behind you. Was that a seating thing, or have you got him into the coach's box to help him learn the system?
No, it was more about him travelling as backup for us, and he was the only one, the only player we had that wasn't playing, so we decided to allow him to sit in the coach's box. We do that regularly with all our players of all ages, so they can get a feel for the other side of the glass, I suppose, and understand the game a little bit deeper and a little bit more holistically. And sometimes the players are a bit surprised when they do sit in coaches' meetings and in the coaches' box and how much detail actually goes into a game. So it was a good eye opener for him.
Thanks, Matt.
Cool, thanks guys.
Hey, just one more. Sorry, Justin. I know you've had a couple of COVID ones. Just have you asked the players to take a couple of extra precautions this week? Going out for their coffees or lunches or whatever, just because of the situation you're in?
Probably not external stuff, because I think they're doing a pretty good job of that. It's probably more the internal things we've just taken to another extreme, I suppose, and that's just trying to make sure we limit the damage. And we knock it on the head in a week, and we get our players back next week, and we've got a healthier squad. So a couple of those risks are just making sure we do everything outside. Mask wear remains diligent, and we're just doing few more things outside, which sometimes we do them inside. But it's a risk. It's worth taking, so we can squash it on the head.
Thanks.
Sorry, if I could just jump in for a last one, Justin. Young and Chapman are good to go?
Good to go.
And just with what you've learnt, with those two, do you think that your latest six that have gone down might miss a second game as well?
It's case by case. And, Youngie and Chappie, I think, were a little bit later in the week, which made it, which cut it a little bit fine for the next week. But it's case by case, and individuals, case by case. So can't really say anything else. We just got to make sure we treat every individual differently, and it's constant communication with our medical team and how those players are going in isolation. And we'll see next week how many we get back. But got to worry about this week first.